Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a raw video, but I'm coming from the Fitbit Inspire 2 over to the Charge 5, and I'm just going through my experience here. So let's just jump right into it. The elephant in the room is the first big thing is the display right away. You can see that the display on the Fitbit Inspire 2 to the Charge 5, obviously, there's a huge difference there. It's obviously in color, and then it's much wider, and it just the Charge 5 just has a much better display, which is nice. The one thing that's not so noticeable coming from the Fitbit Inspire 2 to the Charge 5, which I didn't expect, is if you look here, the Charge 5 is actually more sleek than the Fitbit Inspire 2. So the Fitbit Inspire 2 kind of protrudes out a little bit more than the Charge 5. I don't know if you guys can see that. My angle is kind of messed up. But this is a little bit more sleek. And the reason why I bring that up is because when doing sleep data, I find that this hugs the wrist a little bit better than the Inspire 2 in the sense of it's not protruding out as much as the Inspire 2. So I thought that was a really good thing. All right, moving to the back. In the beginning, was not a fan of this, but I'm starting to understand why this band is the way it is on the Charge 5 opposed to the Fitbit Inspire 2. Again, it's more sleek, or it's more flush to the skin than the Inspire 2 here. You can see that I guess the classic design with the traditional buckle area or whatever, but you can see that it protrudes out, and the Charge 5 is, I guess, yeah, that's a better angle. The Charge 5 just hugs the skin much better. So I was not getting like this kind of design in the beginning, but now after having it for a couple days, I can see that that's definitely a plus for the Charge 5. One thing the Fitbit Inspire 2 has that the Charge 5 doesn't is I do love the pinch on the sides for the device to activate the device. On the Charge 5, you can see there it can't do that. The way to do it is either to flick the wrist like this, or you have to tap the screen on the Charge 5. And you can see that it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. The double tap feature on the Fitbit Inspire 2 is actually not as good. But there you go. You can see it's a little bit more responsive there. So the Charge 5, a little bit more responsive in the tap area there, which is nice. But again, I like the pinch, I guess, feature on the Inspire 2. And yeah, so that's that. So moving into just going into the features, I guess. Yeah, the Fitbit Charge 5 has much more features alongside of the traditional. For example, here the Charge 5 has the oh boy, SpO2 percentage here, where the Fitbit Inspire 2 does not. But one thing off the top, when it comes to the display, now I'm using the slash display on the Charge 5, and the slashed display, it shows your zone minutes, the steps, and the heart rate. But to get to the additional data, I have to actually touch the screen. Then it scrolls up to the calories and the distance. I'm not a fan. If you look at the Fitbit Inspire 2 with the stats heavy display, it goes right into all your stats all on one flick of the wrist. And I'm more of a fan of this style. I don't know if the stats heavy if there's anything like stats heavy in the Fitbit Charge 5 clock faces. I did look around. I didn't find anything yet, but like I said, it's still early game. Maybe I'll find something a little bit better. But at this point, the stats heavy design on the Fitbit Inspire 2 is pretty awesome. So moving a little bit further in, the scrolling ability in the Fitbit Inspire 2 is actually pretty smooth. And I like how the Inspire 2, is basic, like vertical up and down. Where with the Fitbit Charge 5 here, uh, it's yeah, it's pretty good as well. But you can see there's a little bit of a lag there sometimes, and sometimes catching the feature, for example, water lock, if you were to go to it, sometimes see I scroll right over it. I have to like slow down, find water lock, there it is, and then, find my phone. You got to kind of, work your way around that. Let's see. When it comes to screen wake time, again, this is on auto, and you can see they both kind of fire up. I'm just going to put these, side by side. The screen wake is actually around the same time, almost pretty much the exact same time. What's nice about the Fitbit Charge 5 here on the left is you can adjust that. You just have to go into settings and then display settings, and then from there you can do brightness as well, and then screen wake is on auto, and then you can have on manual there. And then finally, here we go, the screen timeout is on default, and then you can click on that, and then it'll give you a, like, increasing screen time reduces battery life, but I'll show you the difference here. So it's on medium, and then I can set it to what's it doing? Okay, medium, sorry. And then it gives, okay, I have to go to that got it section every time. Okay, now you can see it's on long. So that's really nice, because now when you set them side by side, you can see that, the screen wake is much, or the screen timeout is much longer. That can be nice, I guess, if I'm looking at my stats a little bit more heavily or something like that, or if I just need this on. It's not outrageously like a long time compared to the Fitbit Inspire 2. I don't know, right? But the Fitbit Inspire 2 does not have that feature, which is too bad, but that's okay. But yeah, this will, this may take the battery down a little bit. We'll talk about batteries in a second here. But overall, I mean, it's not a very long time. I mean, it's only a couple seconds longer for the screen timeout. So as for battery, for me right now, it's actually a little bit too early to tell. I know the Fitbit Inspire 2 with the basic design and the I guess the monochrome display, it has an amazing battery. So I've never had to go whatever the 10 days or whatever it is. I charge every 2 or 3 days. So I'm doing the same thing with the Fitbit Charge 5 here. Every 2 or 3 days, I just charge it by default. So for battery, though, I haven't had any issues with it. Going into some of the additional features here, for example, this is the ECG feature. The Fitbit Inspire 2 doesn't have any of this stuff, but I am having some issues with the EDA scan. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but I'm clicking on there. It says start, and then it says stand still and gently hold the sensors, or these two areas here, the sides, right? So I don't know if it's just not catching. I don't know what it's. Maybe it's, I don't know. Like it's telling me to continue to hold the sides, and I'm holding the sides like so. So I could be using this feature wrong. I'm not sure at this point, but that's the only thing I've noticed that's not actually working properly on the Fitbit Charge 5 right now at this moment in time. I'm sure there might be some other stuff, but you can see that it's not actually doing anything, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. But yeah, that's that. So to double tap to go back, you have to double tap. I'm double tapping on the screen. Again, I like that pinch feature there, because when I let's say I go somewhere here, let's say I go to exercise, and then boom, I bring it back. See, the pinch feature takes it all the way. Okay, so Another thing that has popped up, I'm just going to take these off real quick here. And so this is the Fitbit the Charge 5's bands here are actually, they've got this weird kind of clip system here. And I don't know if you can see that. And I find just intuitively that it doesn't feel like it feels like it's gonna come off after like 6 months to a year or something like that. So I'm like, I don't know what to expect with this, but it doesn't feel overly secure. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Opposed to the Fitbit Inspire 2, which has this pin, and you have to move the pin downwards. So you do that, but the thing is, there's a big metal pin right there. So that when this goes in, and you line up the pin or whatever, it's sometimes not the easiest to put in for me, but there you go. I slide this pin down, and then it goes in. Okay, I know it's in there. Like that pin is not moving, opposed to the Charge 5, where I just have to I just have to move this to the right, this little section here, and the whole thing comes off. And I'm like, sometimes it just feels a little bit too easy. Anyway, moving on to, I guess, the sensor differences here. There is the extra sensor on the Fitbit Charge 5 with the, what is it, the SPO2 or something like that, which the Fitbit Inspire 2 does not have. But overall, there they are. There's 4 conductors here for charging, I guess, or whatever it's for, and then there's 3. No big deal there. And for weight and stuff like that. So for the Fitbit Charge 5, I do feel this much more. It's a heavier device than the obvious Fitbit Inspire 2 here. And also the band is thicker, and I'll show you the difference right there. This does make a difference, but it's ever so slight when it comes to just wearing it every day. But if you were to tell me, okay, which one do you barely feel? It's definitely the Fitbit Inspire 2. And just to go back to that, what I was saying earlier, you can see on the top there that the Fitbit Charge 5 is much more sleek, like it's more flush to the skin than the Fitbit Inspire 2. It's much more bulky there. So that's something that I just didn't expect. But anyway, those are some of the things that I've noticed so far. I will make another video shortly. Thanks a lot, Ryan. All right, and this one last thing here. I did take the Fitbit Charge 5 and the Inspire 2. I put them on my wrist at the same time, and I've made an additional video to this. I will actually link this in the description. But I took a walk on my treadmill, and then I just calculated the starting steps for the Charge 5 and the starting steps for the Fitbit Inspire 2 here. And then after about 15 minutes, I just tallied up the steps here. And then this is what the Charge 5, the steps were, so 1,013. And then the Inspire 2 was 1,019. So, yeah, that's some of the data I pulled from comparing the steps between the Fitbit Charge 5 and the Inspire 2.